We might just get going. So, welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be running through mobile ROL inspections and inquiries. My name is Amanda. I'm your host today. On this webinar, we do have Alison and Will. If you do have any questions, you can pop it in the chat. We also will be running some polls. That'd be great if you can answer, and we can get started. All right. So, what we're going to be running through today, some learning outcomes, is what we want to run through is an understanding of mobile ROL and how to use it, how to manage your inquiries and inspections with ease, and also running through our Run Wizard. So, let's get started. I'm going to start with a quick poll. The first poll that we are going to be running is what are your what are your what are you currently using in our lettings platform, whether it's mobile ROL or owner reporting? So we'll just open up that poll and we'll wait for a response. So for those who have just joined, welcome to today's webinar session. We've just opened up a poll. And the poll and the question for that is what are you currently using in our lettings platform, whether that's mobile ROL or your owner reporting? So if you can just answer that, that will be great. Okie dokie. So just bear with me and we'll wait for those polls to come through. All right. So we'll give it a couple of seconds and then we'll close this poll. Okay, we'll close that off. Fantastic. Thank you for answering those polls. So let's go to the session and start the session from today. We're going to talk about inquiries. So with the inquiries, just bear with me, I'm so sorry. With the inquiries, we're going to talk about how to add your inquiries in the system. Okay, so as you know, Inspect Real Estate has an easy way to capture your inquiries from places like realestate.com domain, your website, or via the book inspection button if you do have that applicable to you. And this is done when you connect your API from your portals to push your inquiries through Inspect Real Estate. So what I'm going to show you here is how to actually add in an inquiry from the system. You might be familiar with the great orange button up on the right-hand side. One way that you can add in your inquiries is via the Create New button on the top right. So if you click on that, you can come to register for an inspection. You can start typing in the address of the property, and this will populate. Down below, you can start adding in your tenant's details. So we always recommend that you start with the mobile number and click on this little swirly button here, because if the client has inquired about a previous property in your system, the information will automatically populate. You can add in an email address, and you can also add in any comments that the tenants have advised you, if they're a walk-in or if they're a phone call, and any agent notes as well. And you can send the link to the tenant to register for the inspection. If we scroll a little bit further down, if you do have an inspection already in the system, you can register the tenant directly for the inspection. If I scroll back down, you'll be able to see that this client has now registered for an inspection. So that's a quick way on how you can add in your inquiries through the system. So create new, quick registration, and register for inspection. You might all be familiar with that particular setting. If we scroll across to our left-hand side under Lettings, Enquiries, this is where all of your inquiries are going to be sitting. Now you might see that my screen is set up a little bit different to yours. As you know, in Inspect Real Estate, we do have our column chooser where you can customize your grid view. Think of it like a fancy Excel spreadsheet, and you also have your pin columns so that when you scroll across, you're not losing sight of the information. A couple of things with managing your inquiries. So let's start from the left with the page selector. If you highlight, you can re-advise tenants of inspection times. However, they are reminded via the automated messages that are going out if you have them turned on. You can bulk contact. So if you wanted to bulk contact all of your tenants that have made an inquiry, you can load particular templates. You can type in a message and click send. What you can also do in bulk is if you select again, you have your call notes here. So what you can do is actually update all your call notes. If I just scroll along, I've got call notes here. But if I was to call my tenants individually, or if I called and I said the same thing over and over and I wanted to update the call notes, I can simply click on call notes, add in what I have said, and click Save. That will now update all of the call notes. Okay, so you can highlight, and that's if you'd like to do that in bulk, or on the left-hand side, you can select. You also have the option to follow up. So you can pop in follow-up dates. Say, for example, this particular tenant here, there's no times available, and that's suitable for this particular client, Maddie. If I wanted to add in a follow-up phone call or a follow-up date, and I wanted to email or call, I can simply add in a follow-up date and time and click Save. What you can also do is if you click on the three dots, there's a number of different actions that you can do when you're in your inquiries. Okay, the first one is let's have a look at full details. This may be familiar to you or may not. But what you'll see in this full contact card is information about the person who's inquired about the property. So you'll see their name and email address. You'll also see the inquiry date, how their inquiry came through. They may have popped in when they wanted to move in by. We've got our follow up and any tenant comments that were made via the inquiry, or if you've added in any, as we saw earlier, you'll see down below, and also the notes that I've added in. On the right hand side, you can make tenants inactive from here, and you can also create inspection times from this section as well. Simply same way as you would add in an inspection, you would do it through here. Now, some cool things down below. If the tenant has inquired about other properties within your agency, you'll see the inquiry list there. If the tenant has provided information about their property preferences, how much their rent is, suburbs of interest, you'll be able to see that information here. And what I really love about this is that if you're looking at prospecting, if we click on property matches, you'll be able to see and also select on the left-hand side and email a rental list out to your client. Okay, so these are similar properties to what they're currently looking for. So I'll just close out of that. So just to recap where I was to see that information, on the left-hand side, I was under lettings, inquiries. I clicked on the three dots and I opened up the full contact card of the tenant. If I scroll down, I can see here, for example, this particular tenant, they're already booked in for an inspection for today. If I scroll down, I can see if they've inquired about other properties, what their property preferences are. I could also match them to other properties, and I can also see the contact log that has been sent out to the tenants, all the times that we've contacted the client. I'm just going to close that off. Other things that you can do under the letting inquiries page is on the three dots, you can make a tenant inactive from this particular space as well. Okay. A couple of things with your inquiries under letting summary inspection. Your letting inspection summary screen, these numbers are also clickable. So if I click in a particular number, again, I've rearranged my columns to look in this specific way. Reason being is tenant message is important to bring to the forefront via the column chooser. So bring the tenant message up to the top. If the tenant who is inquiring about a particular property has asked you something specific about the property that's not a normal question that can be answered via the automatic messages that are going out, you'll be able to see that under tenant message. If I select and click on the envelope, I'll be able to respond to this client. And what I like about this is that I can see here exactly what the tenant has asked. So I don't need to cancel, go back out and read what they've written and remembered. I can simply just select, click on the little envelope, and I can start responding to their email and click send. I can also load templates from this section as well. So where I was to see that was under letting summary, under tenants waiting, tenant not registered or booked, or under total inquiries. These numbers are all clickable and I can see all of the inquiries there. You do also have the ability to bulk select from this section, bulk email, and also add in your call notes as well. Alrighty, so that is your tenant inquiries. So adding in inquiries, recapping just via the create new register for an inspection. Now you're probably wondering, why am I just talking about adding in your inspections via the create new? Because if you are under the inquiries tab on the left hand side, you do have the ability under the three action dots and adding in a new inquiry. Simply in inspect real estate, there is multiple ways that you can do things within the system. The create new is probably the easiest because it's always at the forefront there. Okay, so let's move along with adding in your inspections. So adding in an inspection, there's a couple of different ways that you can add in inspections. I want you to have a think about your particular office and also your processes and procedures. Now, generally, when you add in an inspection, some of you may add in your inspections via Inspect Real Estate. And the great thing about that is if you create your inspections via the Create New Rentals Inspections, let's add an inspection. So property, select the property, select the team member, the date you'll be opening up the property, and the time. Once we select that, I simply just want to save and close because I don't want to publicly display the times on the internet. So what I mean by that is if I have a look at an ad on realestate.com, essentially I don't want my times to be shown this way. What I do want to happen is when the tenant is on a particular ad, they can come to one date is currently available, they would select requested time and they would book into the inspection. So to do that, where we were was create new rental inspection, fill out the fields and click save and close. That inspection has now been added for people to book in their inspection. If I just refresh my page, I can see now that I have an inspection booked in. So essentially, in your inspection summary screen, you want people to be in the booked. So you want all your clients to basically book into your inspections. Reason being is the system, as you know, automatically sends out communication to your tenants. One, when there's an inspection waiting. So this one here, there is an inspection waiting. If I was to book in the inspection, this client is going to be notified that we've booked in an inspection. They'll move into this section here under the tenants not registered because the communication has gone out to the tenant. We now want them to book in. And essentially, when they book in, they'll be in the tenant's book. So, one, you know exactly how many people are going to be coming to your inspections. But two, it can happen where you need to cancel an inspection. So if I go to the left-hand side and click on inspections, and for example, if I want to cancel this inspection here for 780 at 60 Sidley, if I click on the date, perhaps I want to change the time and bring it forward and click save. Anybody who has booked and registered for that inspection is now going to be notified that the time has changed. I simply just click OK. As well as if I need to cancel the inspection, so if I come to the three dots and click on cancel, the system asks whether I'd like to cancel the inspection. Yes, I do. And if anybody was registered for that inspection, they will be notified. So it's a great way to communicate with your tenants who are booked into the inspection. One, if the time needs to be changed or whether it needs to be cancelled. So let's recap on that. Adding in an inspection via the Create New button, New Rentals Inspection, search for the particular property that you want to open, find who the inspector is, select the date and the time of the inspection, and simply click Save and Close. Anybody that is waiting for an inspection will be notified as soon as I click OK. Those tenants can then register for an inspection. So if I just come to my summary, you'll be able to see now this is in green. Communication has been sent out to these clients. So if I click on number 3, and if I actually click on the 3 dots, if I was to call these tenants and they didn't book in and I said, hi, Amanda Blake, you've shown some interest in this property. Would you like to attend? If they said, oh, yes, I'd like to attend and I didn't get to register, you can click on those 3 dots and register the tenant yourself. So just simply by just adding in this information and click confirm. So now your tenant will be communicated that they've booked in for the inspection. And if I refresh my page, you can see now we've got 2 people that are in the booked. So that's how you can register your tenants. Also adding in the inspections as well via the Create New Rental Inspection. Now, one thing I do want to show you that may save you some time, which is a really great feature that I loved. It's called the Run Wizard. So those on the call, you may or may not be familiar with this. I'll show you how you can add in inspections via the Run Wizard. It's a great tool for agencies that need to arrange multiple inspections. And rather doing this one by one via the Create New button, you can do it all basically in the Run Wizard and plan your journey. So how I do that is on the left-hand side under inspections, click on Run Wizard. I do apologize if you can see these pop-ups. I did close everything on my end. Okay, so it's a 6-step process. The first step is we need to select who the inspector is going to be and the date of the inspection. So let's say we're going to book them all in for Saturday. Up on the right-hand side, just navigate to step 2. If we scroll down below, we want to select the properties that we would like to open. Now, if you wanted to open all, on the left-hand side under all, you can select all properties, or you can come in and highlight the properties that you would like to open. Once you have done that, come up to the black button here where it says Add to List and add them to the list of inspections. So now what this is confirming is Dua Lipa's opening up a property on Saturday the 13th. These are the properties that she'll be opening. So if, for example, you think, oh no, I don't want to open that one, you can highlight and remove it from the list. Or if you've forgotten to add a property in, you can simply come back down to the list of properties and add to list again. Once you've done that, click next to step 3. Now, what you can do here is you can set where you would like your inspection run to start from, whether you want to leave from the office and if you want to return back to the office. For this instance, I'm going to say that I'm going to start straight at this particular property here. And when I'm coming back from my inspections, I want to return to the office because I need to return the keys. The system does calculate some travel time there for you. So watch what's going to happen when I click on the right to step number 4. What's going to happen is this is now going to start calculating the best route. So gone are the days of you going into Google Maps on a different screen, trying to calculate the best way to go to your inspections. The system is not automatically do it for you. So I just scroll down a little bit. Uh, because I'm not in a live account, generally this will map out the best route. If I scroll up here, you can see that the best route has been mapped out for me. So this is the order, the best order, starting in South Bank, then going to Carlton, South Bank, Collingwood, Epping, and I'm going back to the office. So this is based on the best locations. Now, up on the right-hand side, I want to add in the time that I'd like to start my first inspection. In this instance, I'm going to click 10 o'clock. The inspection duration is as per your office setting in the background. So mine is set at 15-minute opens, and it allows 5-minute lockup. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to auto-populate the times. So the times are automatically populated for me, which is fantastic. I don't have to calculate that. The system does it all for me. Just a little disclaimer, if you do change any of these times manually, it does not filter through. So you would have to manually update them all. But if this time doesn't suit, I can come back up the top where it says clear times. I can change the time under the default start time and I can auto populate again. If I want to remove a particular run from here, I can click on remove and that's been removed now from the system. Okay, so now you can see this is the run for the day. You can see it in the order. Now, if I feel like, okay, that I don't really like that run, what you can do is you can drag and drop the order. You can clear the times and you can auto populate the times again. Once you're happy with that, you can export this to an Excel spreadsheet. You can also save this inspection run for a later date. But if you're happy to go ahead and start booking these in, just click up on the right hand side to step number 5. It's just advising me that there's insufficient travel time, but that's okay for this particular demonstration. You can, if you haven't already auto synced your calendar, you'll be able to see what your calendar is going to look like. And then click on step 6 if you're happy. The system is going to confirm that you're about to add in 6 new inspections. If you're okay and you'd like to inform tenants of that, simply just click OK. Now the system is going to tell us that we're going to inform anybody that was waiting of the inspection times. We're going to click OK. And that wizard has now been completed. So it's very, very simple to add in the Run Wizard. I hope you've enjoyed seeing that demonstration. We are going to shout out a little poll. So if we go back to the poll, how did you feel about the Run Wizard? Did you love it? Is this something that you'll be using? We'll open up that poll. Okay, love it. That's excellent. Fantastic. I'm sure it's going to save your team some time by doing the Run Wizard there, which is great. We'll get that poll closed in just a moment, but thank you for those who have answered. Okie dokie, we'll close that poll. Thank you so much. So Let's talk about mobile ROL. So, mobile ROL allows you to manage your inspections on the go. Now, just a little bit of a note that mobile ROL is not an app. So, mobile ROL, you will need to jump on your browser via your tablet or your phone. You can bookmark that and favorite that to your home screen. So this will allow you to mark off tenants who essentially have booked in for your inspections. If you're not using that book inspections, I'll show you how you can also register people who are attending if you openly display your times. So a couple of key things with mobile ROL that you can see from here. So when you go to mobile ROL on your browser, the first thing we'd recommend you do is click on all runs. And if you've got a team of people, you would be able to find your name and click open. Then click on My Run. You'll be able to see the list of properties that you'll be opening up for that particular day. But one thing I do want to show you is up on the right hand side, we do have our late feature. I was a property manager once. And for example, if I was opening up multiple properties in one day, and if one person was late, it generally would, you know, filter through like a domino effect, and I was late for some other inspections. To stop those phone calls, I guess, coming in from your office saying, "Oh, I'm just waiting at the inspection. Where's the property manager?" You do have this late feature where you can select if you're going to be running 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes late, and select the property that you're going to be late for and simply send message. Anybody who has registered, so another reason why it's important to have people book and register for your inspections is anybody that has registered will be notified that you're going to be running late via that feature. Let's just open up one particular property. So we'll open up the first one. And essentially, when you're in Inspect Real Estate in Mobile ROL, you're going to default on tasks. So what you can do here under Weekly Owner Reports is if you're at the property and you notice that the grass needs to be cut, you can add any weekly owner report comments that you'd like the owner to see so that whoever is generating the reports, they'll be able to see this feedback there. You can upload photos if you like of the particular properties, and that will also attach to the report. If I scroll along to tenants, now if you are publicly displaying your times and people turn up to the open for inspection, a couple of things you can do. You do have a QR code here that you can open up. The tenants can scan and register themselves, or under the show quick registration, you can start typing in the mobile number, click on this grey circle, and if the client has inquired about other properties with your agency before, they will appear and you can mark them as attended. So that's under quick registration. For those who have already registered, when they are appearing at the open for inspection, you can then mark them as attended, no show, and importantly, if they're going to be applying or not applying, or if they have already applied. If you are using our to apply feature, you can shortlist applications from this section here. So if you think that this is going to be a fantastic application, you can shortlist. And when that application has been submitted into the system, they'll be right up on the top in the streamlined view. What you have access to as well is under the more, if you select this there, you'll be able to see, does this property suit your needs, yes or no? So these are questions that you can ask your tenants, and these messages are customizable in the back end. What do you think that the price should be? And any additional tenant comments. You can add additional comments in this field. Okay. Now, you might want to ask the tenant if they say, we own an investment property, you might want to flag this and mark this as yes. You could pass on that lead to the BDM, and any comment or agent comments that you would like to write, you could do that as well. You would scroll down and mark off all of the tenants that have attended or not attended. Now you'll see this to apply link again. This comes back to your particular settings. In the back end, there are different settings that you can turn on that as soon as you click Save Inspection, if you are using Add to Apply function, the automatic messages go out to the client to apply. If you want to know more about that, please feel free to pop it in the chat. Um, if you would like us to check if that setting is on for you or if you'd like to have that turned on. So once you've clicked Save Inspection, you'll see that this little PDF has now populated up on the top. So if we click on that, a couple of things we can do from this section. Under Agent Report, we can send the property manager or whoever's listed as the agent a report so that they can see, what happened at the inspection, any particular feedback. You can send that through to the listing agent. We also have this owner quick report. So this owner quick report, if your owners are added into the system via your on list, and you can do that if you've forgotten to do that on your on list, you can go into the property and add them in. You can send your landlords a quick message to say, how many people have attended the property. If anybody is applying, and you can send a quick message. This message is also customizable in the back end if you wanted to change that. And you've also got your tenant quick message if you have not got the automation updated in the back end. If we scroll across to the info section, this is the information that's going to pull through from the on list. So the internal notes, if there's anything internal that you added into the on list, this is where you'll find it there. You'll be able to see the price, the bond, and any additional information about the property. Because this is not a live account, you will have a link here to realestate.com that you can click in, any alarm codes, who the listing agent is, the property images, and you'll also be able to see if there's any current tenants or the owner information in this section. So that's your mobile ROL once you're in the particular screen there. So I'm just going to navigate to the left. Again, just a couple of key things that you'll be able to see in this particular view when you log in. If I click in Inspections, what you can do, you'll see this little pencil up on the right-hand side. If I click on that pencil and say, for example, I needed to cancel an inspection, I can click on the little trash can there and the inspection will be cancelled. People who have registered will be notified. But one step further, if, for example, I'm opening up this property and I've got keys in my car for another property that the tenants for this property might be interested, you can add in a new inspection, type in the address, add in who the inspector is, the date and the time of that inspection, the duration, and then click add. So that inspection has now been added in and you'll be able to see that in your list. That's a great feature for you then to be able to record the information on how that inspection went. So that's pretty much what we wanted to run through today with you. So if I just come back and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions with our quick poll. So I would love to know what your favorite part of today's webinar was. So if you can add that in, that would be great. Okay, so the Run Wizard. Run Wizard was one, that's great. We'll give that a couple of minutes. Okay, we'll give that another minute and then we'll close off that poll. So thank you for those who have submitted your answers. It looks like Run Wizard was the big hit from today. Fantastic. Excellent. We'll now get that poll closed. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, just a little bit of a recap of what we've gone through today. We've gone through your adding in your inspections, managing your inspections within the system, also sending out information to your clients about prospecting and extra properties that you might want to send to them. We've gone through your Run Wizard and your mobile ROL. So thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We will be popping in a survey in the chat. If you could kindly complete it, that would be greatly appreciated. I wish you all the very best and thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much.